Okay, dear friends, we can start. So we have all the languages on. So we've settled our technical issues. Again, hello everyone. It's Saturday, the 12th of July, and as tradition has it, we're going to look into the recent news about the development of the string transportation, and also we will talk about the current activities happening and that will be happening on the platform RSW Systems, some updates on the progress with the launch of the updated platform Micron Global, and also closer to the end, I'm going to announce an exclusive offer, an offer that we haven't had throughout the entire history of the development of the technology invented by Dr. Unitsky, and the second part of our meeting will be dedicated to that. So let's do our roll call. So tell me what country and city you are from. Would like to see the geography. So I see California, the United States, London, Estonia. Then we have Rome, Almaty, Kazakhstan, Krasnodar, Noha, Galil, Israel, Florida, the United States, Belgium, Novosibirsk, Sofia, Lima, Peru, South Africa, Province of Free State, England, Odisha, India, Russia, Czech Republic, Prague. Then we have Jharkhand, India. Then we have UK, United Kingdom, Great Britain. Then we have Peru, Boston. We have lots of guests from the United States. Then we have Mexico, Peru, India, then Barcelona, Spain, Russia, India, Chelyabinsk, which is also Russia, Mexico, I already mentioned, Ukraine. So lots of participants from India too, Peru, Colombia, Buenos dias. It means good afternoon, good day. Then we have Colombia. We have lots of guests from Latin America, which is also very good. We have Nepal, Peru, then again Peru, Bharat, I guess it's India. We have almost the entire planet except Antarctica, because otherwise all other continents are covered. Do we have any guests from Australia? Then we have Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. So we don't have anyone from Australia. So Australians are sleeping right now, probably. It's kind of late in that part of the world, so they will be watching us on YouTube, I guess. So, dear friends, we can start, and we will start from the overview of the news in the development of the string transportation technology. So let's go to the website of UST company. So let's wait for the page to load up, and then let's check the recent news that is always welcome and make us happy or even surprise us. Who checked, by the way, the recent news about the development of the string transportation? Please share in the chat. if you did. So where do we have our chat? Someone says, I watched the interview. Dmitry watched it, checked the news. Of course, I know that you are keeping your fingers on the pulse. Then Maya says, very good news. Good. What did you like the most? So what did you like the most out of the recent news? I'm now on the UST.inc website, the official website of the company. I hope you can see my screen. Continuous work, meetings. There are lots of prospects out there for us. Yes. Mr. Glaziev. Yes, that too. Or is it the name of the place? So let's check four pieces of news. We're not to go in, to go not go going into detail to save time. I think most of you read that news by now, and all of that news is reposted in our Telegram channel and on our main website. So everyone was able to read it. So let's start with the news of the 8th of July about the delegation from Kazakhstan that visited the office of the UST Inc., which means Kazakhstan is very interested in the technology, as Alexander wrote, which also offers lots of prospects. And the group of companies has been working with this state for a long time now, and there are lots of projects in the pipeline in that country. Next, we have the State Secretary of the Union State visited the Ecotechno Park. That's what you meant. It's Mr. Glaziev, who is also the Doctor of Economic Sciences, a member of the Academy of the Russian Academy of Sciences, a very prominent figure in the scientific circles, and also a person who has a lot of weight in the transportation sector in the post-Soviet area. Also, a very interesting interview was published about the prospects of UST in Indonesia. I think you watched the interview. It's both on the official website of the company itself, but also you can follow the link. Do what I did right now. By clicking on the button, you can go to the official YouTube channel of Unitsky String Technologies. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you do. You subscribe. You also click on the bell to get notifications and be among the first who will watch this information. The interview is very informative and the prospects are very good, make us very happy, and the market for USD is continuously growing. And also on the regular basis, the group of companies USD holds meetings of the Scientific and Technical Council. There was a meeting in 2025 held as well. It's a regular event at which the company summarizes the performance in the area of science and technology, makes plans for the future, and all of it is the result of Dr. Unitsky being able to create in a short time a full-fledged engineering school. And a good proof of that is that UST Inc. was awarded the status of an R&D institute. And let me tell you again, it's an extraordinary thing when a privately owned company is recognized as an R&D. Usually R&Ds are state-owned institutes or companies or organizations. And since it's an R&D institute, they simply are obliged to have such meetings and be transparent. So what does it tell us? Well, let me remind you that currently the group of companies or the structure UST, the group of companies owned by GTI, funds all the R&D operations and the current operations. So for us, dear friends, it is very important to understand at the current stage two very important things, two very important nuances. First, we can see that the interest towards commercialization of the technology is continuously growing. And we can see that almost every quarter so far, we can see that new commercial projects appear, contracts are signed at least every quarter. But also it's important to understand that at this stage, the group of companies, USTs, needs a lot of money. And most of those operations are funded by crowd investing. And during the last meeting and the one but last, with the attendance of Dr. Unitsky that we had in 21st of June, I mentioned that currently we are at a pivotal stage of development on the verge of the technology going into the market, when it is of paramount importance for us to provide funds for the entire scope of R&D, plus the current operations of UST. And this is the activities that we're doing right now. So when a delegation comes, then negotiations are held, and all of it, of course, requires funds. If the company is conducting scientific and technological operations like the one covered during the scientific and technological meeting, it also requires funds, of course. And two main sources of funds are crowd investing, of course, which is our domain, our activities, and thanks to the sale of the shares of the parent company, Global Transport Investment, which is now, as you know, is selling its shares. And through the sale of those shares, the UST operations are being funded. Of course, UST is gradually moving towards self-sustenance, being self-sustained. And in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, the company has reached its break-even point. 2024 also showed some positive results. But for us as investors, crowd investing investors, doesn't mean that we should relax and stop doing what we do. Au contraire, right now we should focus on ensuring stable, continuous financing of the USD operations. Do you agree with me? Do we see that responsibility that is laid on the shoulders of crowd investing? I'm not saying that we all have to invest money into the company to support that company. Of course not. Our responsibility is that if we position ourselves as active investors and active partners, we can prove that activity by being involved in the affiliate program. The more active we are, the better we can help the company with the stable financial cash flows or cash flows in general, to make sure that in this pivotal stage, the company is able to perform the entire scope of work it has to perform. Do you agree with me, or is it clear to you, dear colleagues and friends? Please answer me that in the chat. So Gulnara says yes, Victor says yes, Alexander says that I'm investing $500,000 per month. So Alexander is a continuous investor who knows his limits of responsibility, but also he is continuously increasing his portfolio with the pre-IPO shares, thus increasing the potential capitalization. But I see lots of people, other people are giving me yeses and pluses, understood. So everyone understands that investments are necessary. Alexander says that he's been doing that on a continuous basis since 2015. So just imagine a person for 10 years has been supporting the company and increasing his investment portfolio by being a co-owner of the holding company. Well, I see only positive replies. I haven't seen any negative answers, although we have almost 200 people now, which is, by the way, good attendance. So July this month, Alexander says it will be 10 years. Some people have been doing it since 2017. Quantum user with the nickname Quantum. Alexander is top to investor on RSW Systems. Probably you're saying is top 2 investor. Well, I hope we all realize how important it is to continue investing and how operations of UST depend on crowd investing. But also we should understand that we're not shifting the responsibility from UST to investors, but we just need to be able to correctly interpret it. Because I read some of the comments after Dr. Unitsky's speech on the 21st of June, where Dr. Unitsky said that lack of funding for some of the processes or some of the unfinished construction, like track number 6 not being fully built in Eco Techno Park, hasn't been implemented because of lack of funding again. And Dr. Unitsky said that the responsibility lies not only with the company, but also on the investors. But of course, dear friends, it doesn't mean that investors are to blame. Although some investors took it personally and said that I invested and I don't have to invest on a regular basis. And they are absolutely right in saying this. It's a correct interpretation. But also we're talking about the ecosystem or the mechanism of crowd investing as such, and not individual investors, individual partners. Of course, nobody should take it personally. But our mechanism is built on an affiliate program. And if we are active promoters of UST technology, if we are ambassadors of this brand, in that many people for many years, for 7-10 years, have been doing it, and if we see that the company right now needs our regular support, we can provide that support in different ways. And one of the ways is to be active. And by active, I mean to be involved in active investor attraction by sharing information about this project with people you know, by expanding the circle of people, and telling them that there is still an opportunity to become a co-owner of the UST technology on very good terms, because the discounts are still very preferential and there will be as such, kept as such, and I will tell you more about it later. So what else I wanted to tell you? It is very important to understand, if you consider yourself as active promoters, ambassadors, and I hope you are, you have a very good trump card on your hands right now to correctly position or promote the development of UST at the current stage. So what kind of a trump card I'm talking about? The GTI company declared that based on the performance of 2025 of the UST, if they show positive financial performance, then in 2026, the GTI holding company will start paying rewards, remuneration, which means that those investors who are coming right now will get the opportunity to become co-owners with very good discounts, and they won't have to wait for 5-10 years like we did. And they will start getting their payouts in less than 1 year. So this trump card is the card that you should be using when playing your hand. So when we invested in 2014, 2018, and even in 2020, we didn't have this clear deadline or clear vision that we invest this year and next year we can expect payouts. Of course, those payouts are not going to be big right away. We need to understand that technology is just getting on its feet and going into the market. But just give me a second, please. But it means, just I lost the train of my thoughts, sorry. Yeah, I got it. When we invested, we didn't have this kind of a clear timeline. But people who are investing right now have a huge advantage over us. So, dear friends, it is very important for us to be active or proactive right now. And going back to the topic of working on the current platform, RSW Systems, and eventual transition to the updated platform, Micron Global, we are laying the foundation for our future to make sure that we raise enough funds for the technology in a short period of time and ensure its operability. So what, in your opinion, is the main task for us right now? And I mentioned on numerous occasions that we have to support the innovative process. But what do you think is the biggest cost article, right? Cost item for the company right now? So where does the company spend most money currently? You can write the answer in your chat. Bayan says continuous investing. Yes, but what does the company need continuous investing for? Yes, you are correct. Where now the company is now starting to receive commercial orders. They are launching projects. Well, by launching projects, I mean work is being done. But one project has already been launched. It's the Unilight project, which was launched in December 2024. But what do you think right now is the biggest financial burden for the company? Let me give you a hint. The company has now more than 1,000 people. Alexander says construction and salaries and wages. Correct. Just think about it. The company has around 1,000 people. Its company is 1,000 people strong. It has 4 representative offices across the world. So right now we are talking about a combination of costs related to the personnel and active operations of the group of companies. We're talking about paying taxes. We're talking about renting land, for example, and you have to pay rent, for example, in the United Arab Emirates. Money to use licensed software, money on machinery and equipment or maintenance of equipment and machinery. Some of the machines that are being used are one of a kind pieces, very unique machinery, which also requires additional payments for using like unique software. So the costs of the company incurred by the company amount to millions of dollars every month, plus rental of offices. Alexander says, yes, the company owns some of the office buildings, but also the company rents office office premises. Alex says the company has reached its break-even point. Well, yes, Oleg. Based on the performance of 2024, the company indeed reached its break-even point. But break-even point also consists of a number of criteria. For example, one of the items in that break-even point is contributions to the authorized capital. So part of the money goes to the authorized capital, and part of the money is directed towards commercialization. For example, right now the company has several projects in the pipeline, and the company receives some down payments for those projects. Or, for example, when the financial audits were made, the company probably had received some payments, and those payments were included in the audit. But there are also like down months when the company doesn't have any active projects but still has to pay its bills. So that's what I mean, that there is a combination of factors here. Some of the months might be profitable, and those profits are enough to cover the current costs, and sometimes the company has to resort to the money that originates from crowd investing. Because, as you know, GTI owns almost all of the legal entities that are part of UST. And also some of the money is used to contribute to the authorized capital. So this is how the whole financing process works. And all that money is necessary for the company to keep afloat. And it is very important for us to understand that too. We should be also realistic about it. We should have a realistic view of all the processes that are ongoing. There are lots of them, and many of them require additional financial injections and also marketing related injections. I'm talking about advertising, not the marketing that we're using, the crowd investing marketing. I'm talking about standard advertising and promotion. All the efforts that are directed towards making the technology more visible, like participation in expos. You also know that top managers have lots of business trips to be able to participate in negotiations with the ministries of transportation, other transportation agencies, with prime ministers like in Nepal. And all of it requires funding. And we all need to understand that crowd investing will be needed for many, many years ahead. And this is, by the way, the answer to the question that was asked by many of our investors. Why do we need crowd investing if the company is doing all right? Well, yes, the company is in the moving right direction. Everything is going fine, but it doesn't mean that all the financial needs are covered or met. As some of our colleagues mentioned, there are lots of different costs. Yes, and this is why we're getting our pre-IPO shares. We're helping cover those costs. But also we need to realize that it's not a startup. We are at the final stage of the technology going into the market. Remember, in 2024, I made an announcement. I said that currently we see lots of different delegations, and I said that very often we will see more and more news about the UST being implemented in one country, then another country, then another 5 countries, and then there will be projects like mushrooms after the rain. But it won't happen if we do not put our efforts into supporting the company to make sure that it works at 100% capacity. And for that, funding is required. Now, moving on to our immediate topic, RSW Systems and Micron Global, we need to understand the reasons why we're going to participate in the crowd investing and be involved in the crowd investing, and why crowd investing will be needed for many years ahead. Alexander says that we need to continue supporting, and I will be gladly doing it with great pleasure. Exactly. A lot of colleagues are on the same page. So Oleg, who mentioned the break-even point, says, thank you for the answer, now I understand. Well, thank you for your feedback and for understanding the point that I'm trying to make. And now, dear friends, let's move on to the topic of what's in store for us in the near future on RSW Systems platform. So what kind of news we have on about Micron Global. And after I mention all of it, there will be some exclusive information, and there will be an exclusive information about the event that Dr. Unitsky will have in September 2025. Well, someone is asking about the discount 600. Will it stay? Of course it will stay. Dr. Unitsky never goes back on his word. So if you still have discount 600 available for you, it will stay on the updated platform as well. Nobody is going to take that gift away from you, and you will be able to use that discount until the whole funding process is closed. Okay. So let's start with the following. Since I just mentioned the necessity to fund, someone says, Unitsky always keeps his word. Yes, I've known Dr. Unitsky for 9 years already, and I've been in continuous contact with him. Our cooperation started back in the day when there was a project in Odessa. I was also the customer for the pre-design work back then, and the work was supposed to start, and then you know what happened. And yeah, it was since 2015. It's been 10 years, and I started closely cooperating with Dr. Unitsky, like actually close, from 2016, I guess. And to confirm that Dr. Unitsky always keeps his words, I can confirm it's a fact. Dr. Unitsky is one of the few people in the public domain who, in the big business domain, is a person who always true to his word and never goes back on his word. So as Gulnara said, all of Dr. Unitsky's words are always proved by his deeds, and we can see that. Yes, I 100% agree with you, because I also work with him and have been working with him for many years, and never once did I see that he went back on his word. Some of our investors, when Dr. Unitsky changes strategy or changes the course or adjusts the course, take it in a wrong way and start blaming Dr. Unitsky for telling lies. But please do not mistake flexibility for Dr. Unitsky going back on his word or not keeping his promises. Not a single business professional was ever able to achieve the desired result without making adjustments and changes to the plan or taking a different course towards achieving the goal. But let's, for example, take the example of a GPS navigator. You need to get from point A to point B. The GPS built you the route. You started moving, And then the GPS tells you there's a traffic jam here because of the maintenance of the road. So I suggest you take a bypass, or for example, a traffic accident happened. And then the GPS tells you you need to take a second route. And then you do it. Or for example, because of the weather, the road might be flooded, and then you have to stop and wait for some time for the water to go away because there might be a hole in the road that is now filled with water and you can't pass. But you know anyways that you will get to your final destination either later or by waiting or by taking a bypass. But you know that you will be there. And you can use that metaphor to our situation as well, to the UST. We need to make sure that we're flexible. And if a person sees one obstacle, then another obstacle, and then another obstacle, and he was warned about it, and he says that, and his mind tells him that once I decided to go into the water, and then the engine broke down. And those people realize the necessity of being flexible, but there are some stubborn people who do not learn from mistakes, and then their car breaks down again. But of course, experienced, seasoned people, they will listen to the recommendations of the GPS and will follow plan B or will take another path. And Dr. Unitsky is a very seasoned businessman. He knows how things shouldn't be done. His knowledge comes either from his own mistakes in the past or from some let's call it bad relationship with dishonest people in the past. And if we're talking about such projects as high-speed transportation or some other projects where investors are not fully in agreement with Dr. Unitsky's decisions, then of course everyone is entitled to their own opinions. But taken into account that Dr. Unitsky has always been true to his word, we can rest assured that the decisions he makes are always made for the benefit of all of us, of us investors. And those decisions are made again for the sake of us. And the reasons might not always be apparent to us why certain decisions are made. And if you read his biography, you see the books behind me. Then I have 3 there, a couple of books to my left too. There is a big biographical book about his life and career. And if you read those books, you will see that Dr. Unitsky has always made decisions that eventually led to the desired result. And if some of the decisions did not lead to the desired results, then Dr. Unitsky took lessons from it and never repeats the same mistakes again. So we need to understand here that we put our trust in a person who knows what he does. He has been doing this business, this thing, almost his entire life, for 50 years. So Aletsky says that Dr. Unitsky is a very wise person. He has delivered way more with way less money than initially planned. So if we take the stages of development, also those stages should be taken as a preliminary plan. That plan was first conceived in 2014. It was the first optimistic prediction. It's like us planning our trip from point A to point B without knowing that there would be a hurricane or heavy rain along the way, or there would be a traffic accident or some other natural disaster that will make you wait. And instead of taking 8 hours as originally planned, but 24 hours, so you'll spend 3 times more time. So please tell me, have you ever come across in your life with unexpected, unforeseen circumstances? For example, you were taking a plane and then the connecting flight was delayed. Or, for example, you were hurrying to a train and then you missed your train. Or your car broke down. So tell me, did it happen in your life when, because of unforeseen circumstances, you didn't get to the desired destination on time? Gulnara says, very often. Yes, our life is all about unforeseen changes and changes in general. There is a very good saying, there is nothing more constant than changes. So please tell me, dear investors, especially those who are criticizing the recent decisions made by Dr. Unitsky, please tell me where, in your opinion, Dr. Unitsky is making a mistake right now when he's just adapting to the current context. Business is all about adapting and flexibility and changes. And this is what makes Dr. Unitsky a business genius. And this is what makes any inventor or successful businessman a genius. It's about making a correct decision in a timely manner to get the desired result. So this point should not only be approached from purely subjective position or view, but also objectively taken into account the outside circumstances. If crowd investing is not capable of raising enough funds for high-speed transportation, then why should we use it? So that it would take us 20 years to raise enough funds for high-speed transportation. It would be more logical to raise funds in a different way, on a different market. For example, in the US, where institutional investors would provide enough funds in a way shorter period. But it doesn't mean that Dr. Unitsky is telling us, thank you very much, I don't need you anymore. Of course, he has given us a 5% stake in the high-speed transportation, in the US company that is going to build the high-speed transportation hub. So everything is quite logical. It's way bigger than the actual contribution. So we should not engage in wishful thinking here. We just should continue putting our trust in a person who has been doing this for his entire life. So if our route was built one way in 2014, but then in 2015 things happened, like in Lithuania, they made us start everything from scratch. Then we had to build an engineering school from scratch. Then in the United Arab Emirates, promises were given about the land, but they were never delivered. Then COVID hit us, then the economic crisis. There are dozens and hundreds of companies with 100 years old histories who had to simply shut down. And UST instead expanded. And as for those 15 stages, since we've raised this topic, well, I was planning to talk about it anyways. Recently, there has been an announcement from GTI that based on the quarter 2, there will be updates made to the documents, including investment memorandum, changed for the better. So the better terms and conditions for payouts will be made. Also, there will be additional legal and financial information published on the GTI website regarding the costs related to high-speed transportation. For sure, the GTI website will have that information because the GTI company sent a request. It received a reply to that request, the financial report, and that report will be summary of the report will be published on the website. There will be some legal matters covered as well, and a number of other documents will be published on the GTI website. And the company will make a full disclosure of all the changes and decisions made. So the company is conducting its operations in a very open and transparent manner. Also, there will be information about the reports made by all other companies that are part of UST group of companies who are not even subject to auditing, because some companies are subject to auditing and others are not. So more information will be, more clarification will be given about that too. So Q2 is now over. The company is putting everything in order because there was work that needed finalizing in the US. There was some work that needed to be done within the current commercial projects, and we need to understand the legal department is not infinite, right? There is a cap, there are limitations on the number of personnel, and once they're done, I'm sure we will see all the required information on the GTI website about it, and I think many of our questions will become moot by then. And yes, one more thing, there will be clarification given regarding the 15th stage as well, because we all know that 15th stage is no longer relevant because the 15th stage in the GTI holding was revolving around high-speed transportation. Since GTI is no longer part of the funding process, then it is logical to assume that there should be clarification given on how money is going to be spent from the sale of the pre-IPO shares that are being sold by GTI. But in the beginning of this meeting, I already told you what the money is going to be spent on. But also we need to understand that Dr. Unitsky has the biggest number of shares in the GTI, and the shares that are going to be sold in GTI will be the shares of holding number 3 and holding number 4, but also personal shares of Dr. Unitsky's will be sold, and he's selling his shares and let's say harming himself and never harming the investors. So the shares are not being diluted. Dr. Unitsky's part of that portfolio will be diminished and not us. So we're not going to lose. Dr. Unitsky is going to lose, and he's doing it conscientiously. So basically, he has the right to sell part of his property, and selling his shares, he's also forfeiting his claim to future revenues, future payouts. But all of this will be covered in the memorandums to be published on the GTI website. And once it's done, I think many of your questions will be answered. So you will be drawing your conclusions not only based on my words and my predictions that I'm voicing during my meetings, but also you will have confirmation, official confirmation on the website of the GTI holding. I hope that's clear. So please do not ask your questions right now because you know our routine. We have questions usually asked at the end of our meetings. So please do not ask your questions right now. So what I wanted else to say. During our last meeting, we heard information about the launch of Micron Global, and many of our investors and leaders who are part of the affiliate network have been expressing their wishes towards improving our marketing plan to motivate people who enjoy active sales. So based on the current updated marketing plan in Micron Global, 8% is allocated for personal sales. So let's make a small survey here. Would you like to change the marketing plan of Micron Global towards increasing the percentage for personal sales? and overall increased allocation of increased percentage that is allocated to the network. So this is my question to you, dear partners. Because there were a lot of requests from different countries. So I see yes, Olga says, Alexander says yes. Yes, personal sales should be rewarded more. We have answers yes. Nasser says yes. Sonu says yes, sir. Then Gulnara says, let's raise the percentage from level 1 to 3. Oleg is saying, what do you mean by personal sales? You used to give 15% for your first line. Yes, for 15% in RSW Systems. But that was the old marketing plan. In the new marketing plan on Micron Global, it's going to be 8% because there will be more levels, not just 5. Alexander says, yes, we can increase. I still give all of my extra money for investments. I see yeses in English, definitely, says Suraj. Okay, now my hypothesis has been confirmed that the majority thinks that it would be great to increase the percentage or the commission for those who are actively involved in promotion and sales. So we decided to tweak our marketing plan to incentivize you more. But take into account that updating the marketing plan also involves a lot of work for IT team as well. Remember, our website is ready, and I showed it to you. Everything is ready for launch. The website has been deployed on the servers. The domain name has been taken. Everything is ready. But take into account that you would like to have increased percentage. And remember, I told you that Micron Global is being created for all the promoters to have more comfortable work. Then we are ready to meet you halfway, and we are ready to change our marketing plan to meet your demands. And it will take us time because it's also a lot of work for the IT team, and the IT guys will need time to make sure there are no bugs and glitches in the payout system. And the launch date, because of that, will be kept open for now. But at the same time, we're going to have an exclusive opportunity to use very good investing terms on the old platform, RSW Systems, that we're clients of. There will be very exclusive offers made there for all old clients who finish their installments plans. There will be very good offers for partners who haven't yet finished their installment plans, and there will be very good offers for people who are still paying their installments. And what kind of offers and what kind of discounts I'm talking about will be announced by me on Thursday. I will have a meeting on Thursday and I will tell you all about it. And what you're going to learn will be very welcome news for you. In order for me to compensate your wait until the launch of the Micron Global, and again, because we are improving the commission structure, the fees, we will take some more time. But again, to compensate for that, now we're going to have some very exclusive offers for you to enjoy those offers. And you will see how we, as an RSW Systems platform, as a platform that raises funds for global transport investment, you will see how grateful and loyal we are to our investors and clients. And those offers will be announced on Thursday, which is going to be the 17th of July, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Yes, it's going to be the 17th of July, Thursday, at 6 p.m. GMT plus 3. So the numbers that you're going to see are going to be very incentivizing. You'll be very pleasantly surprised. And it will still be available on RSW Systems platform. Please tell me, did I intrigue you at least a little bit, or not? Yes, I see, yes. Very intriguing, very much, very interesting. The 17th of July 2025, right? So, Maxim, there is a very difficult economic situation in the world right now. We need to introduce $50 installment. Well, we have already such packages. I think it's $500 packages where you can pay $50 per month. I see other yeses or yes, excellent. So I suggest, guys, you invite as many partners as possible to our next meeting on Thursday because it will be important for people who have delayed or outstanding packages, installments plans with failed payments, current installment plans, and people who finished paying the installments plans. So it's going to be a very exclusive offer before we launch our rebranded platform. Well, probably exclusive is not the correct term here entirely. That is going to be an exclusivity, but it's going to be very good. Let me put it this way. It's going to be very, very juicy offer. It's going to be a very juicy, interesting offer. So next Thursday, you should be there yourselves and invite your partners too. Call your structures. Probably you know people who purchased packages in installments and then stopped paying. So it will be for them. The offer is going to be for them. And for its entire existence, RSW Systems didn't have such a good offer. And now you have a no less exclusive information with an exclusive offer. So what it's all about, please tell me, those of you who are actively following the development of the development and the activities of Dr. Unitsky. I'm talking about his main technology, i.e., rocketless space exploration, rocket-free space exploration. So, how often do you think this conference on rocket-free space exploration is held? Who knows? Maya says once a year. So, what conference the number it's going to be this year? Gulnara says, well done, Maxim. You created this RSW Systems platform all on your own and people trust you. So I see people saying already, Alexander says that it's going to be the 8th conference. Maya says 10th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's going to be the 8th conference on rocket-free or rocketless space exploration. Is the all-planetary transportation vehicle. So please tell me if you follow that project, which is basically the main project of Dr. Unitsky. And the UST technology is actually a spin-off of that core technology. So what do you remember? What kind of exclusive speaker you remember from the last conference? There was information on YouTube, on Dr. Unitsky's website. There was information about it. What kind of a unique speaker can you remember from that conference? Mr. Hazin, Indian Minister of Transportation. Who else? There have been representatives of the scientific circles. Yes, there have been. So, why I'm raising this topic and why I'm asking, every year the Conference of Rockets Free Space Exploration is gaining momentum and is becoming ever more popular, and the authority, the reputation of Dr. Unitsky as a scientist on the international arena is growing, and the geography of attendance is expanding every single year, and the level and the status of the participants is growing too. But please tell me, was it possible in the past for common investors into the UST technology, was it possible for them to participate in that conference? No, people are saying. Only personal invitations. It was a personal invitation only. I was a regular participant of that conference, and I'm very grateful to Dr. Unitsky for inviting me to that conference. And I visited all conferences until 2022 before the events that happened in my country in that year before the breakout of the war. I had the honor of being there, and then I um, watched that conference online. So, what I wanted to say here is that previously common investors weren't able to participate in that conference. This year, Dr. Unitsky is offering unprecedented terms and opportunity for common investors to be there on exclusive terms. And those terms, I'm going to show you those terms right now. I'm going to show you the conditions for participation in that event. Those conditions will be available more to the, let's say, more well off investors. And for the investors who are on a limited budget, it will be affordable for them as well. And the participation in that event is going to be unique because the guests to attend that conference will be very high ranking officials. You'll be able to see them, to meet them, to take pictures with them, to talk to them, to hear the opinion about Dr. Unitsky's technology, about the rocket free space exploration. And you will be able to hear the opinion of other experts in the area, experts on space technologies. Often there are speakers from space exploration area. We're talking about active and former astronauts. This is the kind of level of people we're talking about, and you will have an opportunity to attend that conference, which also be attended by those officials and Dr. Unitsky. And now let me show you. So Alexander says you can make reports, you can present your own scientific work, and the company is even ready to pay for decent scientific works. Yes, of course. Um, those reports and presentations need to be presented to the Dr. Unitsky himself and his team, and many students have been writing their theses, university degree theses, related to UST technology and space free rocket-free space exploration. There are people who are actually defending their degrees. Okay, friends, are you ready to see the exclusive offer that is going to be in our back offices? And right now, I'm simply announcing it for you. Let me show it to you how it's going to look like and what it's going to be about. Okay, friends, can you see my screen? Okay, good. So what do we have, friends? So we have some exclusive terms for participation in that event. It's going to be held in the Republic of Belarus in the Aquarel Park. So let me zoom it in. Let me increase the scale for you to see better. So our interpreters have asked me to make it bigger. Is it better this way? We can go as high as 200%, I think. This way is better, I think. So our interpreters can see now the text. What about the rest of you guys? Can you see it? So I hope the scale is good. So someone says we can see only the first page. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to see right now. Then I will move on to the next other pages. So right now we have an exclusive offer whereby you can participate in the event with different tariffs, different rates. And you can see the rates are different here. And the minimum price for participation is 2,000 USDs. And now let's see what is included in, for example, $2,000 package. In addition to all the contents in the package, you will see some other very pleasant numbers that will be very surprising to you, and you will like them for sure. So also we need to take into account that the conference will be held by Dr. Unitsky as the author of the technology of rocket-free space exploration. And it is also held with his team, the astro engineering technologies, headed by the executive director, Mr. Isyp. I hope you have heard about that person. And this conference will be, of course, under the chairmanship of Dr. Unitsky. So here are the participation terms. We have a package that costs $2,000. There will be 60 such packages. 60 packages will be allocated with the price of $2,000. So first we're having the participation as a guest. Then we have the welcome package, which is a collections, books, and brand gifts. Then we have the accommodation and board, food, standard premium. Then we have tours to the production facilities of Unitsky String Technologies, its SV plant. Then visit to agro laboratories of UST. It's also an exclusive trip to that to the laboratory center where testing is done, probably humus related project as well. Tour to the experimental testing grounds, UST. We're talking about Eco Technopark visit. Of course, rides on the string transportation too. Then visiting Unitsky's museum, photo shoot session with Dr. Unitsky. Then tasting of liqueurs of Aquarel Eco Park. And this liqueurs, they are made from the herbs that are grown in the Dr. Unitsky's farm. We're talking about the organic products here. You'll be able to taste those liqueurs. Also, you'll be able to leave your wish in the wish book. And this book is very big, lots of different comments and wishes left by numerous guests. Also, that package includes a tour of Minsk, sightseeing in Minsk. Then we have the visit of the Museum of the Second World War in Minsk. Then there is a gala dinner with the participation of Dr. Unitsky. Then there is a show plus a fireworks show, and also visiting pet zoo in Echo Park Aquarelle. There is a huge variety of animals there. I'm talking about from small goats, ponies, and deer. Very exclusive, I'd say, unique animals that live there. And all of it is part of the $2,000 package. But most interestingly, what else is part of that package? Let's see. Also, that package will include, for the same money, you will get a 130 discount for $2,000. In other words, you will get shares in the company GTI with a discount 130. So you will get 260,000 shares, pre-IPO shares. So you will get those shares from the personal pool of Dr. Unitsky's, the owner of the technology. So we're talking about the pre-IPO shares owned by Dr. Unitsky in GTI. Again, that is very important, that those shares come from the Dr. Unitsky's personal pool without sacrificing the participation of other owners, shareholders. So again, Dr. Unitsky is giving away his own shares. So he's losing his part of the profits and participation ownership, both in terms of the pure ownership and his future rights to payouts. So those shares are allocated without any harm to other investors and owners. So again, Dr. Unitsky, I repeat, is giving those shares from his own personal pool and not from the general pool. So being the main shareholder and the owner, he's in a position to give such discounts. So what else is part of that package? A person who will purchase a package for $2,000 will also get 4 shares in the American company on high-speed transportation. We're talking about the options here. So those 4 shares will be given to the buyer of the $2,000. If you remember, one share costs $500. In other words, for $2,000, what you get is an exclusive discount 130. You get 4 shares in the American company, shares, not pre-IPO shares, actual shares. And you are going to be the first investors who are going to get shares in the American company from the owner of the high-speed technology. And this is the exclusivity that has never been done before. So people who will purchase those packages before September will become the first investors in the high-speed transportation project in the United States. And they will get American shares. And for $2,000, you get 4 of such shares. And in parallel, you will enjoy the discount 130, which means 260,000 pre-IPO shares. So the next package, By the way, tell me your feedback about this offer. So we have 30 different items or incentives that we have here, but all those items are not available for all packages. In the $2,000 package, we have 18 items plus discount 130 plus 4 shares in the American company. So let me write in here that we have 60 such packages. So we have 60 pieces or 60 packages worth $2,000. So tell me your feedback. Let me read it. Cool, very cool, great. It's a very cool proposal, very interesting, huge discount. Yes, this is what I was hoping for. It's an exclusivity. This is what the owner of the technology can afford. So I repeat, those 4 shares that you get will come in addition to the 5% stake that we all have. But those 5% stake are allocated across all investors, and those 4 shares will belong to you. For example, Gulnara, you will be owner of the 5% stake along with everyone else, plus 4 shares that go personally to you. Yes, you will be increasing your own portfolio in UST technology plus high-speed transportation. And also, you will be able to pay for this package in 2 parts. The first payment can be made in July as soon as it becomes available, and then the second package will have to be made 2 weeks before the beginning of the event. Before the 31st of August, let's say. You will be able to split it in 2 parts. Next package. The next package is a $10,000 package. There will be, let me tell you how many such packages. 1 second, please. There will be 30 such packages. And here we have everything that we had in the $2,000 package, 18 items, plus individual transportation throughout the entire visit, and also individual provision of English translation into English. So basically, you will have translation into English for all the activities. So let's see. The discount here is 160. So for that money, you get 1,600,000 pre-IPO shares. Let me write it down. 1,600,000 shares. It's cool, right? In addition to that, you get 20 shares in the American high-speed transportation company. It's 20 shares, not pre-IPO shares like in the item 29. It's going to be actual shares. So yes, 20 shares is quite a lot. There will be a special mechanism for the transfer of shares implemented, so it won't matter what country you're from. The next exclusive package, which is a $25,000 package, we're going to have 20 such packages. Just give me a second, please. We're going to have 20 such packages. So what else we have in the package for $25,000? You're going to have individual photo shoot and a photo report with Dr. Unitsky. Individual photo shoot means that they will take pictures of you with Dr. Unitsky as an honorable guest, which is a completely different format. And also, you will have a individual reels maker and video materials for social media. It's an additional option. And here we have a discount of 190. And for this discount, 190, you get 4,750,000 pre-IPO shares. Let me write it down. 4,750,000 shares. It's awesome, right? And the icing on the cake, of course, 50 shares in the American company. Next. The next package. We have 10 such packages. And here we have very interesting rewards. We have individual dinner with Dr. Unitsky, the title of a general partner of the conference, the logotype and mentioning on the website, mass media and broadcasts, individual reels maker and video materials for social media, and one second, and the discount here for such an investor is 2020 with a discount of 220 at $50,000. If we multiply it by 220, it's 11 million pre-IPO shares. So we have, yes, 11 million pre-IPO shares. So we have one extra zero that shouldn't be here. Just give me a second. I will delete it in here, right? So guys, it should be 3 zeros here. I cannot, for some reason, yeah, I can edit it here. Yes, this is how it should be. Thank you. So Dennis, he pointed it out to me. Okay, so we have 11 million pre-IPO shares in GTI and 100 American company shares. I'm talking about the high-speed transportation company, the hub in the United States. So it's the United States. Let me... it's in here, lower, yes. Okay. Now, what we have... So we have very exclusive and very generous offers. We're talking about packages worth $100,000 and only 5 of them will be available. There will be only 5 such packages available. And in addition to all the previous items, you will have a cooperation agreement signed, personalized agreement. So basically what it means is that a person will be an authorized representative on a given territory. In other words, that person will be able to represent the interests of the technology of Dr. Unitsky based on the agreement signed. So it's going to be a personalized cooperation agreement saying that this particular individual will be able to represent the interests of Dr. Unitsky's and his technologies on a given territory. But of course, there will be conditions to follow. The negotiations processes and all other actions to be taken first need to receive prior approval of the company. But someone's asking, can we make such offers to legal entities? Well, yes. Companies can also become investors, especially technological or commercial companies. Why not? It can be a legal entity, a company, not a physical individual. And now, friends, what else? For $100,000, you also get a status of the honorable investor in the Hall of Fame of USpace program. So there is a Hall of Fame or Alley of Fame where you will have the imprint of your hand in bronze in that Hall of Fame or Alley of Fame. Like in Hollywood, they have this alley of Hollywood stars. What is the correct name? What's the correct? It's called, yes, it's called the Hollywood's Walk of Fame, right? In English. And here we'll have the same Walk of Fame for USpace program. So for 5 such investors who will invest $100,000 will get that privilege of having their hand imprinted in bronze in the Walk of Fame. And for $1 million package, and we will have one such package, but it doesn't mean that if this package is purchased, there will be no more packages available. Some exceptions can be made. For a person who will invest $1 million. Oh, wait, before I move on to 1 million, let me tell you how many pre-IPO shares and shares you get for 100,000. Well, the discount is 250. So it's 25 million. So it's 25 million pre-IPO shares. Someone saying the offer is so awesome. It's so enticing. Yes, it's a unique one of a kind. It's offer. It has never been offered before. This participation in the Rocket Free Space Exploration Conference. So we have 225 million pre-IPO shares and 200 shares in the American company. Let's see what a $1 million investor gets. So this kind of so for an additional item that $1 million investor gets is a bronze sculpture statuette of the investor in the museum of USpace program. So you know that in the Eco Techno Park there is a park or a space dedicated to the prominent investors in UST. And $1 million investor will get the privilege of being immortalized and get their bronze full-size statue, like a monument, in that park. And of course, the discount here is really good. It's discount 300. So let's see, 1 million multiplied by 300. It's 300 million pre-IPO shares. Yes, full-size statues. Someone says the archaeologists of the future will be very happy. Yes, indeed, they will. So this is what we have for the investors in the UST technologies. So we have 60, 30, 20, 10, 5, and 1. So we have 126 people in general, in total. So someone was asked about what if we have what if we have too many people willing to purchase? What if we run out of packages? What if we run out of packages and there will be more people willing? So let's do this. After our today's event, literally tomorrow at our website, on our website, well, first in our Telegram channel, there will be a special survey made. Or better, there will be applications. Applications will be It will be possible to submit applications for those who would like to participate in the event. So you will be able to participate in that survey and you will be able to choose the package that you would like to get. And right now, the IT team is working on the packages themselves to make them possible for purchase. And let me repeat, you will be able to either purchase in one go or in two installments. And if you make only the first installment, then you will get only the shares. That's it. For example, if the package is $2,000 and pay you pay $1,000 in July and then $1,000 in August. And the same stands for other packages. If it's $10,000 package, you first pay $5,000 in July and then $5,000 in August. So we will give you a possibility to submit your applications where you choose the package you would like to purchase. By doing this, we will know what is the demand for different packages. And in reply to the answer, what if we run out of packages and there will be more people willing to purchase? We'll see what we can do. The Aquarel Park is a quite a big place. And if we have more participants willing to participate than the current number of packages, then let's see what we can do. If the spots are actually limited, then we'll try to fit all the people in. So also, there will be no commissions paid for the purchase of those packages. 100% of all the funds will go to the holding company because Dr. Unitsky is going to give away his personal pre-IPO shares. So the 30% that are part of the RSW Systems affiliate program will not be paid here. However, I have very good news. If someone uses your referral link to purchase a package, you will get, instead of a referral bonus in money, you will get the number of shares percentage-wise as if you received cash. For example, if your first line purchases a $10,000 package, instead of getting $1,800, which is 18%, if I'm not mistaken. We have 18% in the first line, right? Dear colleagues, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 15 or 18? Okay, instead of receiving $1,500 or $1,800, you will get pre-IPO shares instead for that same amount. Someone says, will the offer be available in RSW Systems? Only on RSW Systems. Currently, it's the only place where those tickets will be available. So friends, well, currently this is how it is. We will see the number of people and the number of packages that will be required. For now, you can think about your options and accumulate, save enough money for the package that you would like to get. So $2,000, I think, is quite a good price for any investor. So consider that it includes accommodation, food, tours. It's like all in. All you have to do is to come to the venue. That's it. So you'll have all in once you arrive. You will have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in addition, you get 260,000 pre-IPO shares with a discount 130, and you will be the first to get American companies shares in the American company from Dr. Unitsky. It's going to be a separate legal mechanism, but then you will know how it's all implemented. But you should know that those shares will belong to you. So basically, you are going to not just to the event itself. You will have an entire day dedicated to touring, sightseeing, a gala dinner with Dr. Unitsky, possibility to talk to Dr. Unitsky. If your packages are bigger, then the bonuses are also more numerous and bigger. So Gulnara says there will be a lot of people willing to buy a $2,000 package. Well, of course, there will be quite a lot of people willing to buy it. And right now, here's what I want you to understand. Dr. Unitsky made this offer to make sure that the engineering company receives the necessary support in order to provide the necessary reserve funds for the engineering company for the near future. Raya says, how many days is it? Well, I think you should plan for 4 days because the event is on the 12th and 13th of September. Then you will have a tour on the 11th, I think. And on the 14th, you're going to have a free day. So you come 1 day before, you check in. By the way, there will be an agenda too. So let's go through the agenda again, because I realized that most of our audience are going to purchase $2,000 packages, right? So we have the participation, board and accommodation, tours to the production facilities, agro-laboratories, the Eco-Techno Park, ride on the transportation, visit to the museum, sightseeing in Minsk. So the entertainment part will be on the 11th. The conference will be on the 12th, 13th, and in the evening there will be a gala dinner. And on the 14th of September, it will be your free day. You can stay at your own expense if you want to. So probably you will need 4 days for that. And Alexander says, I'm very glad that all of the money will go to the company bypassing the referral program. You know what, Alexander? It was on my own initiative to exclude from this offer the referral payments, to exclude the affiliate program. When Dr. Unitsky suggested that we invite investors for the first time in 8 years to such an event, I asked Dr. Unitsky asked me, how much should we pay to the referral program? And I told him, Dr. Unitsky, we won't charge you a penny for this because we need all the money for the UST technology. And Dr. Unitsky suggested such generous discounts. But he says, well, in this case, let's show some appreciation to people who will be very active and who will invite investors. So let's reward them with pre-IPO shares. I'm ready to give my own shares for that. So please remember. So We are not going to receive bonuses in cash. You will get them in shares. So if you invite an investor for $10,000 who comes to the event, they purchase a package, instead of $1,800, you will get $1,800 worth of pre-IPO shares at discount 160. I repeat, $1,800 worth of pre-IPO shares at discount 160 after the purchase is made. We have just 126 people here. All those allocations of shares will be done even manually. You will get the bonuses in pre-IPO shares, not in cash. So please tell me, dear friends, how do you like this offer? Unfortunately, someone says it's not impossible to leave Belarus, to leave from Ukraine to Belarus. Well, directly, of course, you can't, but you can use other countries. Alexander says, well done, Maxim. You are doing everything right. User 01 said, 190, it's too little. 190 for $25,000 is a very good discount. Why? Why are you saying such things? Althea says it's just a fairy tale. Well, with a positive connotation, it's a very good offer, correct? Then it's You're on fire. It's a very good offer, super proposal. Entrepreneur says good. Trinidad says amazing promotion. Suraj says very interesting offer. Yes, indeed. HP says, Maxim, can we use a $2,000 and use the discount 600? Well, no. If you purchase a $2,000 package, you will be using the discount mentioned in there, not a discount 600. Very attractive proposal offer. Very interesting program. Amazing offer. Can I purchase a package without coming to the conference? Someone says. Well, yes, you will be able to do that. You still get a very good discount, right? For $2,000. So for example, you purchase your participation in the conference, but without coming, you get a big number of shares at a very good discount. Gulnara says, can I use your ticket and come instead of you? Well, Gulnara, you can agree with Nelka about it somehow. Well, why not? She buys the shares, you come to the conference. I don't see why not. Someone says, I will definitely be there. It's very inspiring, Vasilia says. Very generous offer. Which month it's going to be? I'm sorry. It's going to be September, on the 12th and 13th of September. All the detailed information will be published on our website in the near future as a announcement. Plus, you will be able to submit your application. You will provide your contact details for feedback, and in parallel, our IT department will be working on making those packages available for sale. So the referral program will be disconnected from it, and then we will manually see who is the sponsor of the buyer, and then we will credit them the required number of shares. So I see a lot of positive feedback, dear friends. Una propuesta extraordinaria. It's an extraordinary offer, right? Yes, and please remember that you will be able to pay for those packages in 2 installments, 2 parts. So today is the 12th of July, 2025. So I think by the 20th, 25th of July, you will be able to purchase those packages. Meanwhile, you can think about it and then fill in the questionnaire, the survey, and then credit your accounts to be able to pay for it. So this is what I wanted to tell you. think about it, and then start calling your partners and telling them about it too, so that you're able to be there, so that you're able to participate there yourselves and invite your colleagues. Maxim, well done. You are improving the image and our faith in RSW Systems. Well, I'm doing my best. Well, I see that the audience is not decreasing. We are 200 plus people, and it hasn't decreased throughout its duration. Okay, dear friends, I think we can call it a day. We will meet again on Thursday. On Thursday, we're going to have other very exclusive offers for current investors. Remember, I told you there will be special offers made before we move to the updated platform. We will show you how appreciative we and grateful we are to our clients and investors who have been supporting the platform and working for the benefit of UST and GTI, the holding company. I see a message in Vietnamese in bold. Let me have it translated and see what it says. Thank you very much, Maxim. Thank you for the translation. A lot of interesting news. Thank you very much for your feedback. So, how it will be aligned with the transition to the new platform to avoid confusion? What do you mean, avoid confusion and alignment with the transition to the new platform? Regarding the purchase of tickets, etc.? No, everything will happen on the website of RSW Systems. So all the packages will be on RSW Systems. And because we're going to update to improve the marketing plan on Micron Global, because of the numerous requests, we will be postponing the launch date of the Micron Global. That's what I said at the beginning of my meeting. We will keep the launch date open, the launch date for Micron Global. So we are postponing it. But to compensate for that, we are making very good offers on RSW Systems. Thank you very much, Maxim, for such an opportunity. I wish there would be enough packages for everyone. Well, when you start submitting your applications, we will find a way for everyone who is willing to be there. I don't think there are tasks that cannot be solved. Someone says, we'll be waiting for the recording of this meeting. So, Ruslan, I'm asking you, could you please provide the recordings as soon as possible in all our languages, okay? So this is just a reminder. Okay, dear friends, regarding the technical questions, Victor, please write to the technical support because the access to the back office sometimes is blocked because of your country of origin. So use VPN, it should help. Will there be a recording? Yes, of course, there will be a recording in all the languages. Let's see. Jafresi Castillo wrote, could you please tell me your country, please, Mr. Castillo? It's South America. Okay. It's República Dominicana. Okay, that's the country that I would like to go to. So, yes, be active, invite me, I will come and we will work together. I like Dominicana very much. Peru is there too, right? Roya says, please answer about the 5%. I already covered the 5%. The shares that people are going to get by purchasing these new packages have nothing to do with the 5% stake. The 5% stake is the GTI stake in the American company, but the shares in the American company that people are going to get will be their personal shares. So we have a huge geography: Kazakhstan, Peru, Dominicana, India, the United States. I see lots of feedback. Okay, dear colleagues, I'm going to call it a day for now. Thank you very much for your personal participation, for your active position. Uh, Thank you very much for being dedicated to this cause and to Dr. Unitsky's cause, for being regular supporters. And I'm calling upon your activities here. It is important for us to support the company when it's on the verge of going into the big sea, into the big market. We need to support the operations of the engineering company, Unitsky Strain Technologies Inc. It's now on the shoulders of crowd investing. Yes, sooner or later, big players will come in and institutional investors, and there will be capitalization. But for now, let's support the technology. And now we have the necessary tools, instruments for that, discounts. Even this spring, discounts 76 with the potential of becoming 85 are very good. If you will have better offers later, you can purchase more. But right now, we need to be very active, because I'm 100% sure that you have people you know, from amongst people you know, who probably heard about the string transportation technologies. But tell them once again, tell them about all the recent achievements made. And the current discount, 85, is a very cool discount. It's the proverbial free lunch. Once RSW Systems stops raising funds, of course, you will see, dear friends, that there will be no such discounts anymore. Yeah, there will be other exclusive offers for sure, but not like the current ones. Okay, dear friends, someone says, see you in conference in September. Yes, that's what's going to happen. It will take place in Minsk, Belarus, in Marina Gorka, which is 60 kilometers from the capital city of Belarus, the city of Minsk. It's Marina Gorka, where Ecotechno Park is located and where Aquarel Park is located. So let me repeat, you'll be able to visit the production facilities, the engineering company, the laboratories. You'll be able to participate, to take a ride on all types of transportation, an exclusive meeting Dr. Unitsky and meeting high-ranking officials and scientists in space exploration. It's going to be a very serious circle of people that are going to be there at that time. So friends, wait for the announcement, wait for the applications to be for you to be able to submit your applications, and I'm sure we'll get at least 150 people there. Everything in our hands, dear friends. I would like to wish you success and luck, and wait for more exclusive news from me on Thursday. News that will be about the current platform RSW Systems. Hugs and kisses, and I would like to shake your hand and wish you a good weekend. So take advantage, the best advantage of the current opportunities. And don't forget that it is our job right now to support what we've been working on for the last 10 years. It's very important to realize that. Okay, friends, see you on Thursday. See you at 6 p.m. GMT plus 3, and then see what time it is in your country. Bye-bye, everyone, friends, and have a nice evening.